first a personal question because I've watched a lot of Cord's interviews, and he keeps talking about how when he read Erasure, the book that the movie's based on, he felt like it was talking to him, like it was a book for him. So I love seeing that quality in films as well. And because I think this film is going to have that effect on a lot of people out there, I'm curious, is there another movie out there that's done that for you, where it felt like the movie or maybe even a specific character was talking to you?
I'd say The Woman King.
Ooh,
that was one of the first times that I saw myself in a film. Unabashed. When I saw, of course, Viola Davis, who I love, but the training sessions and being in Africa, all the different types of, short, but the skin. I said, that's me. I'm a woman king and I don't have to apologize for it. Finally, somebody sees me. Like people might have seen, Wonder Woman. But I saw that and I was like, that's me.
That's such a good answer. I will keep talking about that movie all day long because that one did not get the credit it deserved when it came out.
It sure didn't.
All right, so jumping into this role now, big broad question. What is something that stays consistent in your prep process from film to film, role to role? But then what is something about Coraline that demanded something different, maybe something that you did for the first time?
I'm always take my script and I take pieces out of it and I number it, and I'm very strict about that. It's like something I do. It's not superstitious, but it's just something I do to prepare. If I know what the scenes are, and that it sounds like a very small thing, but it's a big deal for me. And for Coraline, that I don't do often or haven't had to do often, was remind myself that I didn't have to do much in this scene in order to be successful. I'm pulling back on my nature, because I've been asked over and over again to be this sort of bombastic character or to be something, coming through the office, running things. And I said, you're a strong woman. Cord knows that. That's why he hired you, to stand next to Jeffrey Wright, because you were going to be peers. But let him seduce you. I don't think I'm asked for people to seduce me. And so I had to ask myself what that looked like. And I had to go through my mind, what does seduction look like? And classic seduction, because people say, well, there's feminism and there's all that. I said, no, I'm going to throw all that away. I'm going to allow this man to see me, and I'll be available. That's what I'll be.
Beautiful example right there. I love that so much. I also love how her profession kind of put her into focus for me so quickly at the beginning with the specific line, people are more than their worst deeds. So can you tell us a little bit about how her profession influenced how you played her and maybe the decision she makes throughout the movie?
Well, this movie is about a fiction, false faces. And I'll just use this word, passing. He asked her, how can she, as a lawyer, if someone's guilty, still defend them? She knows that's her job, but also she's also admitting that she assumes a false face as armor. That's part of what this movie's about, the armor of who we are so we can get to where we're going so we can be successful. But she knows she does it, and she thinks she does it for a good cause. She's not going to judge whether they're good or bad. She says, that's my job. What he's going to do next is a version of it. To be inauthentic to himself means that he might cross over and be popular. And that's what he wants more than anything.
I have a follow-up question to that, but I'm going to save it till the end because it's a spoiler. I'll go back to working with Jeffrey now. He's just absolutely exceptional. Mm-hmm. You've had many exceptional scene partners over the course of your career, but what is something about the way that he works as a scene partner that has made him stand out?
I think that his wonderful assumption is that you know what you're doing. He doesn't have to do anything extra. He's certainly not trying to instruct you. So there's a level of comfort that you have, that he's there, you're there, but you can also see him working. Like, he didn't just show up. He's working hard. He's also working on muscles that he doesn't get to do very much. Everybody's sort of trying to assume, how can I be in this scene? Not how should I be, but how can I be? To see somebody who's still at that level, working hard in a scene that looks like, oh, it's just a scene about a man and a woman or a brother and a brother. No, it's not. It's about so much more. And he wants to be pitch perfect. So did I. But it was sort of a relief to say, oh, he has to work too. Thank God. I'm not the only one.
You're my third interview of the day today, and it just sounds like this was the most loving and supportive set ever. I keep hearing about it over and over, and that's what we need in this industry. And I think that quality shows on screen in the finished product too.
Oh, good. I mean, it was beautiful. And yet, again, there was nobody coddling anybody. We'd had very little time, and we had to do our work and get down to it. And I think, again, you're looking at people. Jefferson starts it off with the type of script that he invites you to. He invited us to. He asked me to play. There was no audition. He asked me to have a conversation with him. That's beautiful. He is already assuming, Erika, you know what you're doing. Let me tell you about Coraline. Let me tell you what I'm trying to build, And then you go, I want to go somewhere where I'm wanted. I don't want to make the assumption I have to work so hard after 40 years now, 30 years of living single, but 40 years in the business, somebody knows who I am, knows that if I say I can hit there, I'm going to pop it there. Let's do it.
Oh, what a special quality and experience. So that's something that happened with Cord in the casting phase. What about on set working with him as an actor's director? Because it's his first feature. He has never directed actors before, and I have a feeling there's going to be many films in his future. What is something he did for you as an actor's director that you're excited for even more actors to get to experience down the line?
He had the courage to be anxious. He wasn't sure. You could see it. He wasn't trying to hide and act like he knew everything. He knew he didn't know everything. And he knew he was working with a bunch of heavyweights who knew more than him, but no one ever treated him like a first-timer. We treated him and gave him the respect that he deserved, but he'd also already given us that. So then it reciprocated. We saw him doing that thing, and we let him work those things out. No one tried to rescue him, although you could see Jeffrey and him working together, you know what I mean, to sort it out. But everybody let him do his thing. It was his good, bad, or ugly. We were there with him.
What a good answer to that question. I got the one, so I'm going to go to my spoiler questions. I'm going to put up the spoiler warning for anyone out there who hasn't seen American Fiction. It is an absolute must-see. So push pause, go watch it, then come back and push play. It starts right here.
Nice.
All right, so of course I want to ask you about the ending and also the line that I brought up earlier, people are more than their worst deed. How do you think that particular idea is going to affect her after the events of the movie? Does that mean that ultimately she will forgive him for what happened?
I don't know if she'll be able to, because if you see the movie and have seen the movie, you'll see that he is not himself. He changed. He's not the person she met. So she's not dealing with the same person. And she doesn't even know how different he is. They're having an argument about a book that he won't even admit he wrote. She doesn't know who he is anymore. And I think as a person who's discerning and would start to get to the truth because she's a lawyer, that would irritate her. Because she's a woman who's gone through some things. She's gone through a divorce. I think she's looking for people to at least be authentically honest about who they are. And he has not been. And I think that that's a deal breaker.
He was so that at the very beginning, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's his
God,
most perfect audience because she met him before she met him through his books. So he's attracted her to him. But she didn't want that. She wanted him.
She actually read and liked the things that nobody else was.
No one liked.
Jeez.
Yeah. So
my
that's
heart.
she's like a party favor. You could also get that gift bag. But you can't have both now.
Oh yeah, spot on answer. A lot of really spot on answers and really interesting little nuggets there that caught me by surprise. I appreciate
thank you,
that.
Perri. That's
Thank
a very
you for sharing
kind
your experience
compliment
with us.
I appreciate it.